Okay, in AES-ABC, they rolled their own cipher block chaining mechanism, addition block chaining. And the hint they give us is that you probably want to figure out what the flag looks like in ECB form. So they've given us this picture file. I mean, you can kind of see the flag is probably in here, but you just can't read it. So if we look at this file, what we can see is that they parse out the header and the data. They write the header out unencrypted, and then they encrypt the data with this AES-ABC mode. And AES-ABC uses ECB mode, encrypts everything, and then goes through and says that we're going to take the previous block and add it to the current block mod umax. Umax is 256 to the 16th power. Okay, so they basically are just going through, and for every encrypted block, they're adding the previous block to it. So what we can do is we can go through the ciphertext and undo that. We can do the subtraction. Now that's still going to be encrypted, but what we know is that ECB mode really retains information. So if you look here at this Wikipedia article, here is a picture of the Linux Penguin. When the Linux Penguin has been encrypted with ECB mode, you can still see it's the Linux Penguin. So they recommend you use one of the other modes, which gives you this sort of random fuzz. But what we're hoping is that by sort of undoing that addition, that we'll get back something that's still legible. So in order to do that, what I've done is I've taken their code and I've modified it just a little bit. So I've taken out the reference to the key. Since we don't have that module, we are not going to know the key. But I've left their 2 bytes, I've left the remove line, I've left their parse header, I've left their pad even though we're not going to be using it. And I've changed their encrypt method to this decrypt method. And so what this decrypt method does is it takes the ciphertext blocks now, so I'm passing in the ciphertext, and puts them into these blocks arrays. I'm going to create new blocks, which will be my plain text. I get the previous block and the current block using the same loop syntax that they use. And now I say that the new current block is going to be umax minus the previous block plus the current block. So that's effectively subtracting off the previous block. I don't want to worry about negative numbers, so I do this subtraction first so that I always get a positive number, and then I mod by umax. And then I'm going to stick that into new blocks. I join those all together to get the plain text. I return the plain text. The plain text gets written to the file flag.ppm. So I can run this program, Python, AES-ABC. It creates a flag ppm file. I used FileZilla to copy that file down to my computer. And then I installed a copy of GIMP. So GIMP is an image editing software. Nothing that I had default on my Windows would open these ppm files. Now if I open this flag file, you can see that even though it's encrypted, I can still read, just like that Linux Penguin, I can still read the flag. So pico-CTF, don't roll your own AES. And that's how you solve this one.